Making this video for Amy's Crypt. Comment I made on there. I'm gonna post some basic information. That's looking the used car lot and beyond, about 15-20 miles south of here. There's a Estrella mountain range. Above me there's a light aircraft. You can land over there. But I wanted to make a comment on the San Carlos Motel in Phoenix and in the Winny River Judd house in both in Phoenix. There's a number of places around here that are more or less haunted. I've got a ghost at home, but the ghost I've got just hides stuff. I had some money hidden in an envelope and disappeared about a month or so, and then later it showed up. It's in the envelope. There's an odd $2 bill in there with about $600 in cash. I kept hidden, someplace, and it showed up right on top of in a place that I had looked 3 or 4 times. Somebody behind me wondering what the hell I'm talking about, but anyway, I'm at the 99 cent store. I'm going to buy some stuff here in a minute after I post this video. But as I say, the San Carlos is a regular motel. It's an older place, been there for a long time. It's had some suicides. One prostitute is supposed to have different stories. She's either on drugs and couldn't quit them, or she's pregnant and some guy wouldn't. I don't know, different stories. But you can find that on the. I'm sure that you go there, check in there, and they'll tell you the stories on the San Carlos. But what that's on the Winny River Judd house. The Winny River Judd house is private property. And you can go on like Wikipedia, type in Winny River Judd, and you get the full story. You go on YouTube, you can find it. There's a number of people have covered her before, but the house is private property. You can flip outside, but I don't think you can get inside and do any investigation. But it's certainly an interesting piece of Arizona history. Now, she showed up in L.A. back in the 1930s with 2 of her best friends, chopped up little pieces in 2 different steamer trunks. She got off a train, and that's why she's known as the suitcase of the trunk murderess. But now they put on trial. They was going to hang her, but then they said, well, she didn't get adequate defense. But I think what the real story was, her or one of the other 2 friends had some type of involvement with one of the other politician. A married politician or a married prominent land developer, and that he didn't want to get out that he's had an affair with one of these ladies, and he said, well, look, if they have her declared insane, he made some type of deal with the judge that he said, well, if you have her, anything she says, because she's probably going to meet with some author that's going to want to post a book, and if all I can say, well, look, she's been declared insane. Anything she says, she's crazy. Nobody's going to believe her. Well, I think that's the story, but she spent like 30 or 40 years in the state mental hospital, and she was let go because of overcrowded, because she wasn't insane. She wasn't perfectly right. Well, she was nearly as normal as normal as most of us are, but the lady that wrote a book on her, held up a key, and she said, I knew Winny River Judd. She gave me this key. One of the doctors down there at the state mental hospital gave her the key to the medical, so she could just walk right out. But she couldn't get any money to. It's a very, very interesting story. She couldn't get money to get out of town. Finally, she dug up enough money to hit it somewhere in California. She was a maid for some people there for years and years. They had no idea who she was. And she went back, and finally went back in the 1970s. Yeah, one of the Arizona governors pardoned her, and she went back and she was a maid for these people in California for years and years. But as the story goes, back in the 1930s. But she died back in the 80s or 90s, something like that. But, she was, her and 2 of her friends were all drunk, and they was arguing over some guys. I think there were bi women, which is pretty common. I got no problem with bi women. But I think they had, they had boyfriends, and they had, but anyway, I think they're all drunk, and they're arguing over this guy. They argued the gun, and the Winny River Judd was the winner, but not by much. That's the easiest way to say it. But very, very interesting story. It's out there. That's my take on the Winny River Judd story. I started this video 3 or 4 times and screwed up getting it. I probably screwed up on this one, but I got the basic story. And you read the book, watch some of the YouTube videos. Very, very interesting story. And many different stories. Winny River Judd told several different stories that I think she was drunk, and I don't think she knew the truth of what happened, because I think she was probably blasted out of her mind drunk. And but I don't think she cut up her 2 friends. I think somebody did that for her. I think somebody helped her cut the bodies up, or did it for her, and then put them on the train. Well, actually, one of our governors, Jack Williams, had said one time that when he was a young guy, that he believed that because he'd worked for the the railroad, and he had no idea that there were dead bodies in the trunk, but that was his job, loading suitcases on the trains, and certainly be creepy, thinking that you'd actually done that and have no idea that bodies were in there. But anyway, that's the story. Bye bye.